Singapore has been hailed by Pope Francis as an example of how different ethnicities, cultures and religions can coexist in harmony. This especially in a time of conflicts raging around the world. And he made the comment during a state address at the University Cultural Centre. President Tharman Shanmugaratnam says this harmony does not come naturally and the country needs to keep working at it. Jeraldine Yap with more.
Beginning his second day in Singapore, Pope Francis was given a ceremonial welcome at Parliament House. The Pope penned notes in a guest book, calling on the country to remain united and to continue inspiring others. He was also presented with an orchid hybrid named in his honour. Pope Francis then called on President Tharman Shanmugaratnam, where they exchanged greetings. He also met with Prime Minister Lawrence Wong, who later said they had a good discussion on the importance of interfaith dialogue and religious harmony. And that was a key theme in the Pope's state address, as he commended Singapore for its inclusiveness.
Il rispetto reciproco, la collaborazione, il dialogo e la libertà di professare il proprio credo nella lealtà alla legge comune sono condizioni determinanti del successo e della stabilità ottenuti da Singapore, requisiti per uno sviluppo non conflittuale e caotico, ma uno sviluppo equilibrato e sostenibile.
This message was echoed by President Tharman. He noted that diversity is not only tolerated in Singapore, but embraced and viewed as bringing richness to people's lives. The president added that forging a culture of accommodation and trust takes consistent and continuing effort.
None of this came naturally. It has been the work of nation building over decades. We have worked hard to promote racial and religious harmony through our schools, public housing estates, and through national service that our boys go through. It is also the result of Singaporeans themselves being at ease with each other as fellow schoolmates, neighbors, and fellow citizens, sharing common hopes and working for the good of our country.
Among the 800 or so people in attendance were members of interfaith organizations.
It reinforces what we are doing here already, and we are reassured that we are going down the correct path. So if this can be said by a prominent person like that, the reassurance is that yes, we are doing the right thing here.
In the wide-ranging speech, Pope Francis also spoke about promoting and supporting family unity in a time when the foundations on which families are built are being challenged. He also talked about climate change and said Singapore should not underestimate the impact it can have on tackling the environmental crisis.
About 50,000 people had a rare opportunity to attend a Papal Mass in Singapore. Some also received a personal blessing from Pope Francis as he was driven around the National Stadium. Now, it's only the second time a Pope has presided over Mass in Singapore since 1986. Nicholas Ng talks us through the event.
The excitement built up hours before the main event. Devotees arrived as early as 6 hours before the Mass. Some of the faithful even travelled from across the region, like Vietnam.
Yes, very excited. That is a great opportunity for us, first time to can attend the Pope Mass.
Very excited. Early morning, wake up so early to prepare to come over here.
Too excited to see the second Pope. I already seen the first Pope, so this is my second to see the Pope here coming to Singapore.
Some were dressed in yellow and white, the colours of the Vatican flag. They also braved the heat while they queued up to get through the tight security into the National Stadium. For many Catholics, this was probably a once-in-a-lifetime chance to see the Pope in person. Many were eager to get a glimpse of the pontiff as he circled the stadium, and he made frequent stops. Infants and young children were ushered to the Pope-mobile, where they were blessed and given rosaries. Some lucky ones even managed to get his autograph. Pope Francis also shook hands with people with disabilities. The event included musical performances, plays and religious ceremonies before the Mass. During his homily, the Pope also spoke about love and respect for others. Prime Minister Lawrence Wong and several other Singapore leaders also attended the event. The evening drew to a close with concluding rites. As the Pope left the stadium, he was followed by an entourage of church officials and security personnel.
This is a very great blessing that we had. I'm like 40th year and today is my son's birthday. On my son's birthday, we are celebrating Pope in Singapore. Very excited. The whole family feels very blessed.
Those who attended were in high spirits and with memories of an experience they won't soon forget.
Catholic Junior College is gearing up to host more than 600 participants ahead of Pope Francis' visit to the school tomorrow. He will attend an interreligious dialogue for youths. Now, the Pope will also add the finishing touches to a community batik art piece by staff and students. The artwork reflects their commitment to racial and religious harmony. Representatives from over 50 schools and religious organizations will also join the Pope in the dialogue. It's aimed at inspiring youths to play their part in building a cohesive society.
I feel that this opportunity for dialogue will spark conversations, not just conversations, but meaningful conversations among Singaporeans, among the various youth in Singapore and also globally. I feel that Singapore is a model for multi-religious harmony and unity and strength.
I personally feel that even though Pope Francis has his responsibilities, has his duties that he has to go about, right? He still goes beyond those duties to show his love, to show his understanding towards all, not just towards Catholics itself, but he goes beyond, regardless of where you are, regardless of religion.
We look at this visit as a very high point when we can remember the importance of this messaging. I think these overarching themes of unity for people of different faiths, different backgrounds to come together is the very founding of Singapore itself.